Morning. I am the Shadow Trader. This is Shadow Analysis, and today we're just gonna have a little chat. I'm not sure what I'm gonna call this video yet. I guess this is gonna be more of a podcasty type video. I do have some stuff to show you. Um, I'm sitting back with my horrible monster energy that I shouldn't be drinking. I got my bowl here. You guys grab what you need, and let's have a discussion here. Uh, this discussion is going to be it's going to be centered around NVVE, but i- it's really centered around any stock that you're in that's moving sharply down. Okay, and this is just a discussion for the people who are solely dedicated to that one stock, uh, but going through depression at the same time because of it. Because I've done the same thing, guys. Let's get into it. All right, so yeah. So I didn't have to. I kind of just got rid of all my drawings here so I can make it a little more clear for you guys because I mean the simple truth is that although it tried to do something from the time that it opened all the way until let's see October 16th, 2023 was the last week really that it tried to do anything. After that it gave up. You can see the weakness and then it fell sharply. Now I don't know if this is right. Okay. I kind of skewed this just a little bit because because I'm just trying to get the right. It seems as if this is right. I know for sure this is right. It only goes one way for now until we see more. If it breaks below, then we know that we need to move this down. That it's an actual downtrend, not a bear trap. I don't really think it is, but let's talk about that, huh? So I can't find anything regarding. Well, that's not true. I can find some things, but I can't find a lot regarding 2025 and going forward. It seems as if this company had great things going on for it. There was so much talking being done about where this company is headed. Look at that. Look at that. They had they had so much hope early on for this stock. What am I doing? Okay. Here we go. I was going down too far. So look at this, guys. Buy. Buy was the latest recommendation. But this extends from 2019, no, no, sorry, 2021 all the way until 2023. It didn't even get 2024 in here. Not only that, but your estimates end pretty much in December 2024. So they were expecting, I think I have it here somewhere. Yeah. So I typed in, 2025, where 2025 estimates like EPS revenue, price, and growth for NVVE stock. And here's what I got, guys. Pretty much, because like right here for revenue, 0.93 million for Q1 2025. That was an increase of 19.8 year over year. And they were expecting revenue growth going into 2025. If you look here, yeah, see it. But basically, they had the stock. doing positive in 2024, December 2024, while showing positive estimates going into 2025. They didn't have those estimates, but they said they expect positivity in 2025, which is kind of, you expect positivity, but you don't have estimates. So you're really unsure, is what you're saying. Um, even Google can see that it's in a downtrend, and it has been for a while, with the low at 47 and the high of 876 for the year. And we've seen the buying. We've seen the buying, but we've also seen lots of selling. We have seen that. Although NVVE is rarely short in the lit market, it is actually 47% short in the dark pool, which is strange considering the dark pool sentiment for NVVE. And we'll see how this looks going into next week, because next week is like the last week before earnings, right? But we'll see how this goes. If anyone expects anything out of this stock for earnings, we should see some buying going into this, at least a pre-earnings run. Will it fall on earnings? Probably. Is there a chance that earnings can exceed their expectations and blow up? Probably. Will it sustain? Probably not. Uh, they still think that this stock has a lot of promise. And that should make the holders, you guys, feel good. The retail holders, right? We're gonna go over this in a minute, why this is important. We're not gonna go over that stock, but yeah, why is there two copies of the same stock? Oh, I know why. Yeah. So let's get this in real quick. Right. And we're actually, when we go over this, I'm gonna do it now. We're actually gonna remove. Uh, well, we're gonna remove this at least. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna remove this because it's pissing me off. All these damn lines. There we go. That was really messing with my ADHD and my autism. I was going crazy. Okay. Now, let's go over what are we doing again? Oh yeah. We were going over NVBE, the numbers. We were crunching numbers, trying to figure out what this thing is going to look like. Now, as I said, they expect growth, but listen, as shareholders, you have to be real with yourself. Okay, you expect growth, fine, but through it all, granted, for the time being, we still have a bullish dive. Got the word for a moment. Bullish divergence. We still have a bullish divergence, but it is on the long term, guys. We cannot. And remember, as the bullish divergence curls up, we continue to move down. So until that actually activates, until you actually see something out of this, I'm not a financial advisor, so I cannot tell you what to do. I cannot tell you how to invest or how to do anything. But based on my experience, my lived experiences, and based on what I've learned, I'm going to tell you that if it was me at this point, because some of you have reported up to 90% losses, I would just hold on to it. But I would start pivoting some of your money into other stocks to start making some of that money back. Make some of that investment back so this investment's free and you don't have to worry about it. Now I haven't been doing as much trading recently because majority of my money went to an expensive trade, which I'm still waiting on, which is going to be awesome when it finally goes. But I'm gonna be doing some more this week. Some of my money finally cleared. So if you guys want to do some trading with me, I'm down. I'm gonna be looking for moves to get into. Gonna be looking for things to trade here. I don't even know how this week is looking. I haven't looked at the overall market. I've only looked at the stocks that we've looked at. I've got a very limited amount of money to trade because majority of my I'm putting over a grand this month in PRSO, and I'm really excited about that because the stock's gonna do great things, and it's gonna make me a lot of money in the near future, and I'm willing to wait that out. But in the meantime, you gotta try to trade, guys. You gotta make that money back that you're investing so that it's free. In some cases, for stocks, what you can do is if you're not investing in all penny stocks that have no options, what you can do, guys, is you can sell options to people. If you got shares and your company has options, you can sell options and then make your money back for that stock, and then what you're holding will be free. And then any options you sell after that will be profit, and then you can use that to buy even more of your stock if it's worthy of buying at the time. And it's not even your money that you're using, guys. It's important that you understand that this is your stock. AI projects it to continue going down. I hope that's not the case after earnings. But whether it is or whether it isn't, you guys need to start pivoting. Now keep in mind that the price targets, I think some of these price targets here were as high as, yes, no forecast for 20 no full year forecast for 2025. Here we go. Found it. So NVVE Holding Corp fiscal year ending December 31st, 2025 is negative 62 per share based on the forecast. They reported at 3.26. The price target, I think they have some high price targets of like 250. I don't remember where I saw that at. Yeah, so they have like some high price targets of 250. They used to have a price target of $24. I saw that somewhere. And it's interesting that that is the case because there's a gap up here. You can't see it on this map or on this chart, but it's here at 20 here, right here, probably from here, from 27, yeah. So $27 gap, just about, I think it's, yeah, right here. $27 gap, guys, on a stock that had a $20 price target or higher. That is no longer the case, although I think that they can build back up to that. I'm trying to see if I can find it here. I don't think I'm going to be able to. Some of the high price targets are as high as like 250. And what I was trying to say was that you can see all this resistance here on the chart is around 250 to $3 here. But you can see that they knew that this is the price target. This is as high as they are willing to go until they see something. So if we see something like this again for earnings and we hit this trend line around like 243, 250, guys, if it was me, I'd be making a financial decision at that point, right? But again, you may not have to. You may decide you just want to keep it, and that's fine. But you have to pivot. You have to be making money in other ways. You have to make that money back because otherwise, this company is going to drain you until they turn around. Remember, they need the money. They are trying to turn around, and the rich recognize that there is a lot more buying and selling happening. I do think that the biggest holders are pushing the price down to get a even better price to drain your money and to drain the money of the smaller hedge funds that got in as well. That's just the name of the game, unfortunately, but it's an opportunity if you want to get in at even cheaper price as it continues to drop, but you also need to think about how to make some of that money back that you've already spent so that you're not spending your hard-earned money on a stock that continues to drop. You want to spend their hard-earned money on a stock that continues to drop for the long-term investment of it. And you need to wait for some solid support before you guys even buy. Like, here was some solid support, it broke. Here was some solid support, we were just there, it broke. But now, let's take a look at, well, for some reason they changed it to now to where you can only have one account open at once. So we're just going to use the same chart, guys. But let's take a look at IWM because IWM is well, actually, what's going on? And we're also going to take a look at junk bonds because junk bonds will also be deciding whether or not we we move. And as of right now, it doesn't look good, and I'll show you that. What in the heck is going on, guys? I think I'm losing internet or something because this is not connecting. We're on the weekly, so we need to change that too. But it is not. Let's try a different page. There we go. Weird. Okay. So I have traded this stock many times. I've made a bunch of money on the stock many times. And I also decided to stop trading the stock. It was getting too volatile. Um, I I love getting in on the long term moves, but when that long term move doesn't come, um, then it's time to stop and move, and it's time to move on. It depends on you. You know, it depends on how you trade, right? I don't like a lot of volatility in my options unless I'm built for that, and my options are not built for that. My options are built to go one way, and the only volatility I'll accept is when the move is generous. You know what I mean? Like for example, NBIS, for example, a lot of volatility, a lot of big moves up and down. But the move that's going to happen is going to be worth it. It's going to be extremely worth it. Now, okay. So this looks like it's going to start pouring off here. Let's take a look at the ins and outs of this. Okay. So on a macro scale, if you look at this, we're still good. We're still good. We're going to see next week if we get continuation down, and we may, but as of right now, you're holding this support here that you need to go higher. But if it does go down, then that's not good for pennies, guys. That's not good for penny stocks, for penny holders, for people looking for things to explode. This is not the way. All right. So far it is, but again, this is the weekly. I thought, honestly, thought we were on the daily at that point. Let's move. Let's okay. And so you see a pour off here. Yep. You see a pour off here happening. You see a gap formed. We're coming back up here soon, but still, you see a pour off happening. Now, how far are we from the bottom? Are we gonna reverse here? Are we gonna reverse here? Here? Let's find out. Let's see how far down we've dropped. Let's see how much money. Let's see what's going on here. Hmm. So we have a little bit more to go. I would go as far as to say as we you might pour off back here. I can kind of see us holding the support here, here, we're here, and reversing, turning around, going back up. We're gonna have to keep an eye on this, guys. But this does not look good for pennies right now. If you're looking for pennies to move up, it, it's looking kind of steep here. But if you're looking to buy pennies, this is your opportunity. And for NVV holders, NVVE holders, this does not look good for you. Um, doesn't look good for anyone holding a penny stock right now. So we will keep an eye on that. But also, is that the right one? Yeah, that's the right one. Yeah. All right. Get confused sometimes. All right. Also, it's looking, you know, somewhat similar to what IWM is doing. We left a gap behind, but we are coming down. This does not look good for penny holders right now, or holders of anything, really. Junk bonds going down is not a good thing, guys. Now let's see here. We've got so we've got a gap here. You know those are magnetic zones. No real support though. This zone here is going to be very important. So if it well, yeah. So it looks like it's going to drop pretty heavily. If it does drop, you're looking to hold support in these zones here and then turn around somewhere. That's what you're looking for right now. You got gaps here, got gaps here, gap here. And even though they're over here and already covered, again, for those of you who don't watch all my videos, I told you that gaps are a magnetic zone for price action, and it's going to follow the previous gaps if there's not one available. So you guys pay attention to that stuff. Pay attention, 95.17. Yeah. So pay attention to that stuff. Gaps are very important. So this is a very important zone here for the reversal. Now, I think let's go. Yeah. So the dark pool net flow for IWM is overall bullish. Overall bullish. So we have to see what happens next week. I don't really like looking at data going into the weekends because it's completely skewed for the previous week, right? We want to know what's happening next week, and we really don't know until the next week really happens. As of right now, though, it's looking like going into next week bullish. But you can see this curling up, so this can easily start curling down, and these two can crisscross at any point. But this is what this is telling you is right now is not the time to short. We're not going to go over that stock. Oh, yeah. So NVVE, you can see it dropping. You can see that there's a little bit of buying possibly that might be selling. We don't really know for the most part. I There is some buying in there. I know because we did get a buy on Friday. Someone bought, and you get buys here and there, but we have not seen block trades in a while. That's the one thing we haven't seen. So no one's buying or selling a lot of anything right now, which is crazy weird, right? So does that mean we are going to go up? Is this just a fake sell-off? What's really happening with NVE? What's going on? Why are people buying a stock that's going straight down? Questions that need to be answered. But until then, you don't need to buy anymore. You don't need to put your money into it unless you want to. I would wait for the stock to prove itself to you. You have nothing to prove as an investor. They do. Yeah. And so this is useless data for us here. So, guys, what can you do? Well, I would start trading again. I would start trading. I would start looking and you don't have to trade much, guys. $100. If you don't have it, save it. Save $100. Go out there, trade a few options, get in, take your money, get out. Now, I generally trade expensive options only if it's the right move, right? And I should say that about everything, whether it's cheap or whether it's expensive. But I really have to be sold on the fact that it's going to go my way if I'm spending a lot of money on it. Generally, though, I try to buy stocks that are less expensive, at least the options price, less expensive with a big move coming. Those are the best. Those are my favorite. You can get the options really cheap, and there's a big move coming that hasn't came yet. As long as you got the length on it, you're okay. But once you see that money come in, you need to get out. You need to have a price target, and you need to weigh the options of profit versus expiration. Not to mention theta, which is the how much you're going to lose when the stock doesn't go your direction, whether it's sideways, down, crisscross, it doesn't matter. You guys need to be aware of all that, and you guys need to weigh all of that and say, well, is it worth taking $20 worth of profit on a $100 move on a $100 option? Yes, it is. If the stock went up a lot and you only made 20 bucks, 20 bucks, 20 bucks. The stock went up a lot and you doubled your money, fantastic. You had a better day than most hedge funds have. They're playing with more money, yes, but generally 10% for a hedge fund is amazing, right? So to make 50% on your investment is extremely good, and people need to realize that and take more profit at that point. A lot of times I'll make upwards of 90, 100, 200%. I'm out, guys. I'm so out. And although it's a high percentage, depending on how much money I'm playing with, it might not seem like a whole lot of profit, but it's a lot. If you can double your money or triple your money, you're having a fantastic day. Get out. Stop trying to make that $1,000 price move. Take that $200, go get another trade, and make even more profit next time. Takes a lot of discipline to trade, guys, because you have to know when to get out. Shares are one thing because you can hold them forever, like in VVE, right? You can hold that forever and hope. Options you can't. So when you play with options, and if you don't want to play with options, then find good pennies that have moves to make. Get in and get out. Don't hold it for too long. Even on NVBE, because when I got in, the whole reason why I got in is because I went in on someone else's analysis. I made the first mistake, the first cardinal mistake. I'm not doing my own analysis, and that's what I post on my X account. That's what I say on here. No matter what I say, no matter what I do, I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own analysis, and I didn't follow my own advice, and now look where we are. Now I'm trapped in a stock. Although, again, I didn't put that much in there, so I'm not worried about it. But again, I didn't do what I was supposed to do, what I should have done, and now I'm suffering. But I can't blame anyone else but myself. So all we can do is move on and learn. And you're gonna learn these things. You're gonna make these mistakes a lot. I rarely make these mistakes, But you're going to make these mistakes a lot until you understand, until you get it through your head to do this because we're very stubborn in our ways because we've been taught for so long to be greedy. We've been taught for so long that money is so far beyond our reach, right? That's what schools teach you. That's why they're built like factories. And then we have so very little money that we become greedy because when we see a lot of it, we get excited. It pumps the dopamine into our brains and we want more. That's what gambling's all about, right? It's basically gambling, but it's less gambling if you do your DD and do your research. It's more gambling if you get ahead of your research and do and try expect far more than what you expected. So again, if you guys just want to if you guys want to take a look at stocks, do your own DD. If you're curious and you want me to research a certain stock that you might be looking into trading soon, post it, and I'll help you with some of your analysis there. Um, you can at least take advantage of that because I love looking at charts. I'll look at charts for you, but you also got to look at the chart yourself, and you got to mark your own price targets. You got to do your own thing. You can always go by my own price targets. I will be very flattered if you do that. But again, make sure that it aligns with what your research finds because you have to do your own DD as well. And my DD really just consists of technical analysis. So I don't really care about financial DD. I only need to know only if I'm investing, right? If I'm investing, of course. But if I'm just trading, all I need to know is what that company does, what sector it's in, and then I need to look at a chart with certain data points behind it, like obviously dark pool, shares, options. The options um the options chain is extremely important. Um it gives you it lets you know the future, right? Can't think of the word, but kind of a it gives you a little bit of hindsight into what is coming, right? By the expiration, depending on how many options are purchased. There's lots of ways that you guys can find valuable information for stock trading. And of course, this is going to change, guys. But for example, if we look into options and we go look at the options chain, and you can use any of your trading apps to look at this. You don't need any special app to look at this. It's just more highlighted for me here, right? There's a SPY. Let's look at IWM real quick because the net pool of buys was high. So let's see if that aligns with this, right? Yeah. So for I think this is for yeah. Let's go to the 8th because that's next week. So for options expiring next week, it's bearish. Actually, actually, you got 20,000 options here compared to the 15,000 here. So it's actually bullish going into next week. But if let's take a look at the 4th because that's Monday. The market will be open that day. And let's see what it says is going to happen on Monday. Okay, so the options are leaning, and again, this can all change once the week starts. People are going to sell options, people are going to buy options. These figures are going to change. But I'm just giving you an example. On Monday, you got thousands of puts compared to hundreds of calls. This is bearish going into Monday, guys. And again, you'd have to check this on Monday once we open, of course, and see where these figures lead you. See what the new figures are and where it's headed. But going into the weekend, a lot of people bought puts. I can promise you that. Now the overall skew, bullish. And I believe that the overall skew is bullish in the market too, because I believe the market's going to continue hitting new highs going into next year before we have the biggest fall of them all. I don't think it's going to be. I don't. I don't think it's going to be this major crash that everyone's talking about. I even used to preach that back in like 2020, but really, it's just going to be another mini crash like what we experienced with Biden. And then I think we're going to continue up. I think it's going to be continued to be held up by things like AI. So many more advancements are being made, and we're probably going to get like a little break during that fall of like nothing. But they're going to be working on stuff. Things are going to come, and markets are going to turn around. And they're going to continue higher. Just saying. I think, and I don't know if it's going to happen, you know, at the start of 2026 or if it's going to happen at the end of 2026. But we're going to have a big fall coming, and it's going to be a huge buying opportunity for a lot of us. It was also, and probably already was, hopefully a selling opportunity for a lot of us as well. And will continue to be a selling opportunity going into 2026 for a lot of us holding penny stocks, because I think 2026 is going to be their best year. Or I think for a lot of them, 2025 is going to be their best year. I think you're going to be selling a lot of them in 2025 that have already gone extremely high. For those that are low, that like for PRSO, for example, that has big things ahead of it, SNYR, penny stocks like that have huge price targets coming in the near future. I think a lot of them are going to have a great 2025. I think a lot of them are going to have a great 2026. So and I don't know how far into 2026. We're just gonna. I think we're just penny stocks on and off. Are just going to be sold in 2026 as they hit new highs. I think that marijuana has a great future in 2026 because of rescheduling. There's a lot of things that are going down in the background with a lot of sectors in 2025, going into the end of 2025, and then going into 2026. Um, so there's a lot of hope for you guys. There's a lot of things going on. And NVVE or any other stock that you're holding that's going straight down doesn't have to be the only thing you hold. You have no reason to be beholden to these companies. These companies have every reason to be beholden to you. And so this is your opportunity to take charge and take control and stop letting them control you. With that said, guys, I'm here. Uh, as I posted on X, I'm here to help you. I'm not here to hurt you. I'm here to tell you the truth, not what you want to hear. Okay? I will give you the most honest analysis, and that includes telling you that there's a possibility that NVV could continue going down after earnings. There's it's shown us many times that on support where in the past where they've had price targets of $25, that it's just continued to drop. So let's not kid ourselves, guys. All right, let's at least be honest about the situation. Okay, we have to. That's the first step, right? The next step is is getting you more money in your pocket, because they're obviously not going to do it. At least not now. We do have earnings coming soon. I'm very curious about what's going to happen with all this buying happening in the background. What are they expecting for earnings? Another nothing burger? Another something burger, but something that won't turn into anything for years, which will cause another sell off after the run, if there's even a run. Again, if there is a run, you guys have to make a financial decision at that point. Maybe this will have a run in the future, but maybe it won't have a run until it's in the negatives. Maybe it has to drop under a penny first in order to start having its major run. I don't know. The reverse stock split hurt it. It always does. It does lower its share, but after you're doing a reverse stock like a stock split, you need to show something through the company. Otherwise, it's just going to continue dropping in value, and then they're going to end up doing more splits and more splits and more splits to make this money that they can't seem to make. And when they're doing offerings after offering and split after split, guys, it might be time for you to split. And you can keep your money. Like I said, if you're losing 80, 90% or more, it's not even worth selling. You might as well hold on to it. Be that could be your dark horse investment for the future. But I wouldn't recommend you put in any more until they show you anything. And again, I would use that extra money that you might be putting into that to start making more money. There's plenty of things out there. But it's time for you to start making a return so you can control your own financial future. I think this is something that they need to teach many Americans in schools. I think it needs to be mandatory to learn finance. This is something that I've had to learn on my own, something that I've had to learn through experience. When I first got in the stock market, I didn't even know that there was fake money that I could use to trade in the stock market to learn. Although I probably would have rather used the real money anyway, because if you're using fake money, it means a lot less to you. I think that using real money over time has taught me a lot. I think that making a lot of money in my early days, my rookie days, has taught me a lot because I've lost it. But it also wasn't mine. So I wasn't emotionally attached to it. I never am because it's not mine to begin with. And that's the thing. And that's why I didn't want to use fake money when I found out about it because I was still learning. I was still rookie. So I still could have used it and stopped losing money while learning. But at the same time, I don't feel emotionally attached to something that doesn't belong to me or that's something that isn't really real, right? Because money's not really real, but it's real enough to where it affects us. And so you're going to have an emotional roller coaster when you see your money move up and down. But if it's not real or if it's not yours, then who cares? I just don't think I would have put as much into learning how to make more money instead of losing it if it wasn't real. All right, guys. I don't know much more I can say. I would like to have more of these podcasty type of conversations, and I think I will make more of these. Try to get some guests on and just talk about stocks. I want to get new people in here and try to understand what runs through their mind when they don't want to invest, the kind of fear they feel. I'm just curious because a lot of I try to get people on stocks all the time. I talk to people all the time about stocks, but they immediately lose interest. But I would like them to get into stock market. I would like them to invest in good companies because I think that once people start doing that again, I think that we could have a better, not only just a better America, but a better future for everybody. You know what I mean? So, um, I do like that. And again, I don't get, try not to get political here, but I do like that the Trump administration and, put money into an account for your kids so that they can have a future in investing. Now, I think that's a very good use of our tax money. I'm not much of a socialist. I hate socialist ideas, but that right there is a good idea because you're investing in America at the same time you're investing in the people. So that's a very good investment to use for our tax money. Instead of just giving money to people that they're going to spend on stupid crap, you now just put it into an account and let it grow for those babies for them to have money for school or whatever it is they need. They can buy homes when they're young, all kinds of stuff that they can do. And this is why it's important for parents to get started early for their kids. They can open an account for their kids and get their kids started early, or make an account and get you started. I know if you started late, you could be like me and just put in all your extra money. Like I sacrificed a lot to put in extra money in the market because I was late. I was late to the game. I'm trying to get ahead. And now that I've learned how to trade the market, now I learned how to invest properly. That's something that I feel like I'm doing right, and I feel like my future is somewhat secure as long as I keep going this path. But I want some of you guys to follow that same path too. I want everyone to follow the same path, really. I want everyone to invest, and I want everyone to make a bunch of money. And Yeah. So I think I'm gonna cut it here, guys. I want to thank you very much for watching this video. If you made it this far, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you really like this video, you want to see more like it, or if you just want to see more of my analysis videos or new type of videos that I might have coming out soon, go ahead and give me a sub and hit that notification bell, ring that thing so you can get notified whenever I come out with new videos. And guys, if you haven't done so already, follow me on X, Shadows Trader 17. You guys have a great morning, all right? And I didn't tell you this to scold you or to put you down or to even put your stock down, right? I just feel like this is the conversation that needed to be had. I don't want people to feel like I'm leading them in the wrong direction. I don't want people to feel like I'm trying to get them to buy a stock that's can't talk continually going down. I want to let you know that although I got in it under bad circumstances, I'm still in it. I'm not going to continue dropping. I'm dropping little bits of money here and there just in case, but I'm not going to continue dropping big money into the stock. Or I'm not dropping. I haven't dropped any big money, so I'm not dropping any big money into the stock until I see something. And I feel like you guys should probably be doing the same. So thank you guys for watching. You have a great morning, a great day, a fantastic last day to your weekend, and ciao.